r/ask Reddit. What toxic behavior has been normalized by society? Believing lies is tolerated. Fnord calling out people for lying is offensive. Editing photos for social media to a point where the picture doesn't even look like you anymore. Whoa, this one has to be one of the top answers. Filters have definitely turned into a long-term curse. First, the enemy was the fashion industry and Hollywood, but now you can do the very same tactics they do with an app. That's why I saw the whole facetune phase as dangerous, because that can cause more damage to your self-esteem than the fun it advertises. I've heard of plastic surgeons who are having more and more patients coming in with Snapchat selfies as their desired look. It's really disheartening, especially for the upcoming generation. Airing your dirty laundry to the world via social media. If you and your spouse have an argument, work it out amongst the two of you. The whole world doesn't need to know your marital drama. This is the main reason I stay off of Facebook. Treating workers like second-class citizens, especially all my brothers and sisters in retail. I stopped ducking taking it. I have worked at my job long enough and I am reliable enough to tell customers to duck off when they get snappy with me. It sucks that my other brothers in arms don't get that same luxury, but I am glad I do, and I will always fight for any employee. The immediacy of an answer. Everyone wants it, with it being what they ordered, a message being sent right away, an immediate answer. I get that with technology and such it's easier, but if people can calm down. Certain things still take time, patience. Work in retail and you'll realize this. People yell at you for not knowing the answer for something. It seems like people forget we aren't robots. Blindly following what is perceived to be a popular opinion. People don't think for themselves near as much as they should. There is no harm in taking a minute to research the accuracy of something before stating your opinion on it. Acceptance of lack of logic in arguments. Right. People need to know that an opinion and an argument are two different things. Online dragging for brownie points. That shit really grinds me. When you have people who genuinely don't understand something and are asking questions out of curiosity. People, especially with some kind of following on social media, would rather publicly drag that person for not knowing instead of educating them. How do you expect those, especially kids growing up, to understand the ins and outs of a certain community? For example, if you drag them immediately for not understanding the culture and the issues they face, but dragging gets more attention and does better numbers, so let's do that. Nobody is born with all the information. We have to learn from somewhere someone. Casual waste. The I'm just gonna toss it mentality. There are many things you never needed to use in the first place, and many trash items that can be donated or recycled. Dude, you should work in a restaurant. The amount of food that gets thrown out on a daily basis is ducking ridiculous. Not to mention any functions or buffets. They are twice as bad. Being savage or petty for the sake of getting a like. Raising children as a princess with no preparation for real life. Saw lady spoon feeding her school-age child, 10, while he played on his phone. It was disconcerting. Being so set in our ways that we don't even begin to listen to differing opinions. It's sad. The cheating. Side chick culture. Being cheated on can really hurt someone. You might be too wrapped up in your own world with this one. I am in an environment where this kind of things happens all the time, but I have never heard anyone other than a select few a-holes say it is acceptable. As a nurse, I would say threatening kids with shots as a punishment is ultra common but super toxic. It's bad because you're threatening a child with physical violence. They need the shots regardless, so they will be very confused, distraught, upset when they've been good and still have to go in for shots. You're teaching kids that an important health initiative is a punishment. When parents threaten their kids with shots in front of me at work, I outright tell the kids that it's not going to happen, assuming they don't actually need shots that day. If they do need shots, I explain it's not a punishment if their parents try to say it is. I'm not going to be complicit in this vague child abuse. Dating people who you desire to fix. Cancel culture. I'm sorry, but deciding everything is over for someone because of an obscure tweet they sent out a decade ago is just foolish and undermines the importance of character development. Obviously some things are unforgivable, However, I think a lot of things are blown out of proportion and people would rather ruin someone's career than allow them to grow. Acting as if being offended counts as an argument against something. The being real. I used to work in a place where co-workers had no problem being overly blunt and abrasive, claim that they were real. Here's the thing. You can be honest and polite, and sometimes it's better to keep quiet to keep the peace. Cheating. College alcoholism. Pressuring people to drink alcohol even after they said no once. This whole no snitching culture where a whole group will threaten violence against someone for reporting misbehavior. I'm an adult. You're an adult. Can you just do your job and not steal shit from the company or break shit on purpose because you had a temper tantrum, please? Call out culture. Using mental illness as an excuse for why you're being a shit person to someone else. Depression and anxiety are at an all-time high rate right now, and that sucks. However, there also seem to be an increasing number of people who think they can be a terrible person to a friend, for example, and then blame their mental illness for it instead of owning up to what they did. Mental illness may be an explanation for what you did, but it's not an excuse. Be better. Disregard and disrespect of parents or dads being seen buffoons and incompetent in media. Addiction to screens media. Joking about being lazy, killing yourself, not liking yourself, etc. Something I'm personally far too guilty of. Reciprocal dialogue has been almost entirely replaced by expressing. The last time I bothered to be part of any in-person group, all that was going on was unidirectional statements of personal identity with very little reciprocal discussion of the sort that can lead to personal growth. Online it's very much the same thing. The discussion forum has pretty much disappeared and all people do is make unidirectional statements about their own symbioses, which is what a tweet or an Instagram post is. Society allowing minimum wage to fall below the cost of living. We're literally setting hard-working neighbors up for lives of anxiety and suffering. Getting blackout drunk because, hey, it's the weekend. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.